Hey, this is Jamey with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite game mechanism in Mental Blocks. Mental Blocks is a new game from Pandasaurus Games. It looks kind of like this. I'll show this photo more as I talk, but this is the general look of Mental Blocks. It is a fully cooperative game. I think it plays like 2 to 8 players, and I've heard it actually, I played it with 6 twice, and I've heard it actually plays pretty well at 2, which I think is rare for this style of cooperative game. The general idea in Mental Blocks is that you are trying to collectively build a structure, a specific structure of blocks. So it might look like this. This is one that was in the middle of being constructed, but that could have been the final one. That could be a final structure. But all players, or each player, has a different perspective of that structure itself. So for example, my card, I might have a card that just shows a two-dimensional view of one side of this structure, and it might show a black down here, a yellow here, a blue there, and a gray there, or gray or white, whatever that is. But it just shows it flat, so you don't know exactly what position the blue is in. Is the blue here? Is it on top of the yellow? You don't know. You just see that flat perspective in color. And other players can see the entire shape of the structure, but they don't see it in color. So they're seeing the shape, the final shape, but not, you don't know which angle your colored side corresponds with the overall shape of it. And so you have to work together without showing your card to the other players. You can talk about what you see. You can even construct a quick sample block thing to show them what you're seeing from your perspective. But that's it. You can't actually just show anyone your card. And I really, really like that. I really like that you know something that no one else knows, and as long as you follow along with the one rule of the game to not show your card to other players, then the game works. And even then, really, I think if you showed someone else your card, you don't really have perfect information, because you're still trying to figure out the exact configuration of which side matches up with which. It's still an interesting puzzle to do. But I love that you just have, that each of you has a little bit of information that is always correct. That information is definitely correct. You just don't know how it fits into the final puzzle, and you have to collaborate in real time to figure it out. This style of cooperative game has really grown on me over the years. So there are basically 2 styles of cooperative games, right? There's the version where the game is playing actively against you, where it's or you're trying to beat the game itself. The game is actively maybe punishing you or hurting you or getting in your way. This is usually like the Cthulhu style and the pandemic style of cooperative game, where the game is doing something bad and you are trying to fix it so the game stops hurting you. The other style is this kind of collaboration with other players style cooperative game, where it's limited information, like The Mind would be an example of this. Mental Blocks is an example of this, where you know something that the other players don't know, and it's yet it's still fully cooperative, and you're trying to work together to solve that puzzle of collaborating with those different pieces of information. And I really, really like that style of game, because it doesn't feel like the game is hurting you. It doesn't feel like anyone's hurting you. I don't like to feel like anyone's hurting me or punishing me. And so I really like this style where it's just putting your brains together, your minds together to solve an interesting puzzle in real time. So that's Mental Blocks. Limited information that each player has that you have to work together to collaborate on. If you can think of your favorite cooperative game that does this, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Or if you've played Mental Blocks and you have a different perspective, feel free to offer that in the comments as well. Thanks.